Alex had always been curious about the world around him. As a history student at the university, he spent most of his time studying ancient civilizations and lost artifacts. But little did he know that his life was about to turn into an adventure straight out of his textbooks. It all began when Alex received a mysterious letter. It was addressed to him, but the sender's name was unfamiliar. The letter spoke of an ancient artifact hidden beneath the city, something so valuable and powerful that many had tried to find it but failed. The artifact, it said, could change the course of history. At first, Alex thought it was a joke, but the letter included detailed information about the artifact, as well as a map leading to a secret location in the city. The idea of finding something ancient and valuable excited Alex. His curiosity got the best of him, and he decided to investigate. The next day, Alex followed the map to an old, abandoned library on the outskirts of town. The building was falling apart, its windows broken and vines creeping up the walls. Inside, the air was thick with dust, and the floorboards creaked under his feet. Alex searched the library, looking for any sign of the artifact. After hours of searching, he found a hidden trapdoor beneath one of the bookshelves. His heart raced as he lifted the door, revealing a dark staircase that led underground. Alex hesitated for a moment, but his excitement pushed him forward. He descended the stairs into what looked like an ancient chamber, the walls lined with carvings and symbols he didn't recognize. In the center of the room, on a stone pedestal, was a small, glowing object, a crystal. Alex reached out to touch it, but before his fingers made contact, the ground shook. The carvings on the walls began to glow, and the air around him seemed to pulse with energy. Startled, Alex pulled back his hand. Suddenly, he heard footsteps behind him. He turned around to see a figure standing at the top of the stairs, shrouded in darkness. "You shouldn't be here," the figure said in a deep voice. Alex's heart pounded in his chest. "Who are you?" he asked, stepping back toward the pedestal. The figure stepped into the light, revealing an older man with piercing eyes. "I'm someone who has been protecting this artifact for years. It's not meant for people like you." Alex felt a surge of adrenaline. "I just want to understand what it is. I'm not here to steal it." The man shook his head. "You don't understand. This crystal holds great power, and many have tried to take it. All of them have failed, and some have lost their lives in the process." Despite the warning, Alex couldn't tear his eyes away from the crystal. "What kind of power?" The man sighed. "It's not just an artifact. It's a key to an ancient temple that has been hidden for centuries. Those who find the temple can unlock its secrets, but it's dangerous. The journey is perilous, and the temple is guarded by ancient traps." Alex's mind raced. He had always dreamed of finding something like this, something that could change the way people understood history. "I want to find the temple," he said, his voice steady. "I'm willing to take the risk." The man studied him for a long moment before finally nodding. "Very well, but you will need help." He handed Alex a small notebook filled with maps and notes. "This will guide you, but be careful. There are others who seek the crystal, and they won't hesitate to take it from you." The next few days were a blur of preparation. Alex read through the notebook, studying the maps and trying to understand the ancient symbols. He learned that the temple was located deep in the jungle, far from any modern civilization. It was protected by traps, puzzles, and guardians that had been set in place by an ancient civilization to keep intruders out. Alex knew he couldn't do this alone. He reached out to his best friend, Elena, a skilled linguist and puzzle solver. When he told her about the artifact and the temple, she was immediately intrigued. Together, they prepared for the journey. The day of their departure arrived, and Alex and Elena flew to a remote part of the world where the jungle awaited them. The moment they stepped off the plane, they felt the humidity and heat of the jungle pressing down on them. The dense foliage and the distant sounds of animals filled the air with a sense of mystery. As they made their way through the jungle, following the map from the notebook, they encountered their first challenge, a deep ravine with a broken bridge. There was no way to cross it without taking a risk. Alex and Elena looked at each other, knowing they had no choice but to move forward. With careful planning, they built a makeshift bridge out of fallen branches and vines. It was dangerous, but they managed to cross safely. Once on the other side, they realized they weren't alone. Throughout their journey, they felt like they were being watched, and they soon discovered they were right. A group of treasure hunters, led by a man named Marcus, was also after the crystal and the temple's secrets. Marcus was ruthless and would stop at nothing to get what he wanted. Alex and Elena had to stay one step ahead of him if they wanted to survive. As they ventured deeper into the jungle, they faced more challenges, ancient puzzles that guarded the path to the temple. Elena's skills as a puzzle solver were put to the test, but together they solved each one, unlocking hidden doors and passageways that led them closer to the temple. Finally, after days of travel, they reached the entrance to the ancient temple. The stone doors towered above them, covered in moss and vines. The air was thick with the sense of danger and history. Alex and Elena exchanged a look. They had made it this far, but the hardest part was yet to come. Inside the temple, they faced a series of deadly traps, falling stones, hidden spikes, and collapsing floors. But they worked together, using their wits and skills to navigate the dangers. They also had to stay ahead of Marcus and his team, who were closing in on them. At last, they reached the inner chamber of the temple, where the true treasure awaited. But it wasn't gold or jewels, it was knowledge. The walls of the chamber were lined with ancient writings, telling the story of the civilization that had built the temple and the power they had protected for centuries. As Alex and Elena stood in awe, Marcus and his team arrived. A tense standoff ensued, but in the end, Marcus underestimated the traps in the chamber. His greed led to his downfall, and he triggered a series of events that caused the temple to begin collapsing. Alex and Elena had no choice but to escape, taking with them only the knowledge they had gained. As they ran out of the temple, it crumbled behind them, burying its secrets forever. Back in the safety of their camp, Alex and Elena reflected on their journey. They hadn't found the treasure they expected, but they had uncovered something far more valuable: the lost history of an ancient civilization. And as they looked at the stars that night, Alex knew that their adventure wasn't over. There were always more mysteries to uncover, more secrets to find. And with Elena by his side, he was ready for whatever came next.